now that I'm on my debt-free journey, I have been doing so much reflecting on the financial decisions I have made over the last 10 years. And one thing that just sticks out so much to me is I wish I could have found a balance between my wants and my needs. Now that I'm in my 30s and looking back at my 20s, I really wish I would have prioritized my future self a little bit more. In my 20s, I was very much of the mindset of live in the moment, YOLO, do whatever you want. And I genuinely believed the way I was living my 20s, fancy restaurants, traveling, going out with friends, buying whatever I wanted, I thought that's how I wanted to spend the rest of my life. That's what I thought I was going to be doing. Newsflash, I changed my mind, or I just kind of evolved into something else that didn't really align with any of those things as much anymore. Don't get me wrong, I still like to go to fancy dinners, I like to travel, I like to buy things, but it was no longer how I wanted to spend all of my time and money. Now looking back on it, the finances I had and the cost of living I had, which was really, really cheap. And just to give you a little context, the portion I paid in rent living downtown was about $300. Yes, $300. We got so lucky, I found it on Craigslist. I didn't have a car payment. My student loans were minimal because I went to community college for 2 years and lived at home with my parents. So like all of these things together, I really, really, really would have had a leg up if I would have just understood my wants versus my needs. And with those finances coupled together with my salary, I really could have had the best of both worlds by prioritizing my future self and also doing whatever I wanted. I did the math recently and I was sick. And I know this is nowhere to live. Like, I'm so grateful for the opportunities I had when I was in my 20s. I went on really cool vacations, saw really cool things, and had so much fun. Like, I don't regret that at all. What I regret is just how I handled it as a whole. And let me just tell you, I got paid 26 times a year. If I would have put $200 a paycheck away for the past 10 years, I would have had $52,000 today. And I definitely, absolutely could have put $200 a paycheck away easily. I could have done way, 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 way more than that. Even if I did $100, it'd be $26,000. I think some of the things that were stacked against me was my lack of discipline, wanting instant gratification, keeping up with the digital Joneses. I feel like it was really hard, or it is really hard in the age of Instagram influencers and TikTok influencers. I was also making like big girl job money for the first time in my life, which I did not really have access to that kind of money before that. And lastly, I was really taught to just work hard and save everything. And I feel like that kind of just like backfired because finally I could buy stuff and kind of do what I want. I felt like I had financial freedom. But now that I'm in my 30s, my definition of financial freedom is completely different than what I thought it was in my 20s. If you are in your 20s and you have the means to do so, now is really the time that you have the chance to get ahead. And when you're in your 30s, I swear you are going to look back and be so grateful you did this. Even if it's $10 a paycheck, it really, really adds up. It's these little baby steps of consistency that really will make the biggest difference. And it's really a double-edged sword because I'm thinking like, right now, the grass seems greener if I would have done X, Y, and Z. But again, I don't regret what I did in my 20s because it really was the best. And I suppose this is just one of life's like hard lessons. Like, I am learning the hard way. But all I'm saying is it would be a lot different right now if I would have just prioritized my finances a little bit differently. Just a little. Just a little. I'm emphasizing that so much because it would be such a small amount if I would have just made small changes over the past 10 years. And right now I'm just focusing on what I can control, and that is like taking charge of my budget, taking charge of my finances, and putting one foot in front of the other to get ahead. And like, I know we are going to make progress and eventually we're going to make up for this lost time that we did with our finances. But it is hard when you reflect back and think, well, if I just knew X, Y, and Z, or what I would be feeling today, it would be so different. And there are people, the way they live in their 20s, that is how they want to spend the rest of their life. That is fine, that is fun, that is great. I just woke up one day and was like, I don't want to live downtown anymore. I kind of want to start a family. I think I want to buy a house. There was just so many things that I didn't even anticipate changing. Like, for the longest time, I really didn't know if I even wanted kids. But things just changed naturally, and I could not have even predicted that. And had I been a little bit financially smarter, again, it would be so different right now. But that's no way to think. There's no reason to live in the past, but all we can do is learn from our mistakes, and that is why I'm sharing this video with you, is if you were in a similar situation and you were younger, now is the time. Because you never know, your mind could change. You just never know. All right, well, thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your Wednesday. Bye.